I talked to him on Sunday at church. He says, oh, I picked it up and took it in the house. He says, I'll bring it to church next Sunday. Well, I wouldn't pick up the one I put Carol's down. It was gone. I don't know what happened. But anyway, somebody would have took it outside, but Craig.
Okay, it doesn't say.
Well, we had a whole. Everybody on the board brought signs in.
I should have brought mine today. Mentioned drop them off. Just drop them off in front of.
Well, if you want to, just.
Carol will get the gun.
Yeah.
I think it was. I live there.
Right. Okay.
So if you could bring them to me, because I got to want to get from Bill. Okay, whatever it is. Okay, like, and I'm going back down there next week. Okay, I'll do that. We're planning the.
So we're gonna go
Seats for
ahead
the-
and get started.
Okay.
And, oh, sorry.
No one else.
I thought to.
He's getting
Share
something
it back.
done from the kitchen. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to. I don't know if you can do 1%, but I guess.
Chips in the kitchen.
Chips in the
Chips in the kitchen.
Okay,
He just get
There you go.
There you go.
say yes.
Sorry.
Say yes.
Sorry, I didn't.
So, I think now we've got the quorum. We have a quorum. And the Eagle Scout project, and I assume, this is from you, Bailey, right? And I
Yes.
did read his request there.
We have a local Eagle Scout. His name is Noah, and he is interested in building one of those sort of community library boxes in Hannah's Park. He sent us some example pictures of one that he saw and really liked in Pataskala. So he is requesting permission to build one of these in Hannah's Park and build a little bench next to the box for people to read. He would like to put the box, let's see. I don't think he said it in his letter, but in his email to Teresa, he said that he'd like to put the box sort of close to the sidewalk with the bench next to it, so it's easily accessible. And I thought that, and he wants to complete it and have the box built and posted before the end of it. So we wanted to bring it in front of you guys and see what your thoughts are.
We have a food box beside the message, which is based on that. Would be a lot better. Yeah, it's got. Closing. Put the proof on this one. Better. Yeah. Bar. I would have. If the window was bigger. Pages. It is not.
Could you contact her? Yeah. Go look at
Go look at that.
Yeah, and And I guess, a motion would be if we could make it more along the lines of the first one, that we would come up with.
I stepped in late. He said he wanted to buy a sidewalk. Or I'm trying to.
He
Because
said,
we don't have a sidewalk for him up there. We have the walk that goes to the playground.
he said the box in Hannah's Park, I wanted to be near the playground so more kids would see it. And he'd like to build a small bench next to it so the kids can sit and read.
Okay, the only sidewalk we have goes from
After-
the shelter house straight up to
The playground.
the, what is it, the 5 to 12-year-old playground.
Yeah, he said after a brief look, I'm thinking next to the sidewalk leading into the playground.
Well, a bench, because that is a high traffic area that comes, which may be part of his thought. It goes from the shelter house to that first playground and back and forth. But do we want a bench right there? We have. No,
We could tell him that when he's ready to install it, to work with us staff.
we're okay.
Yeah.
The optimum spot. Benches are always welcome out there because I think we're lacking, particularly around the playground, because parents, they're sitting in the shelter house, their kids are on the backside over by the swings. Where are they? What are they doing? Particularly in the 5 to 12-year-old area. So I love the idea of benches and maybe circling the playground area so parents can sit closer to their young kids. We have had a little bit of trouble with vandalism up there. I'm just throwing that out there because we have our tiny kiosk that we put the rental stuff in, and of course they break the locks off, tear the front off. I'm bringing that out because this will be vandalized as well.
Oh, sorry.
There's lighting and everything up there. It's just when they go in there in the middle of the night. Well, we've talked about that and the expense of doing it, and because we talked about wanting them at all parks, because we're getting a lot of vandalism down at the restroom at the trailhead. Well, that way we can see who's going in, but what I'm saying is, that's something I think we do need to talk about for all the parks, but then, how they would work remotely and how they would work, we need to get into, but. Because we do have it. Yeah, it comes straight out of the shelter house up in 45s and over, but I mean, we're having trouble at all of our parks. At Rolling Meadows, they keep see the electric boxes there so people can put. They break them off. One of them, they just broke completely off the wall. We had wires hanging there. So, we got that fixed right away. The restrooms up at the trailhead, we're having serious trouble with vandalism. We're in there having to get paint and stuff off the walls. I don't know. And they're always breaking the toilet paper holder. I don't get the idea of that. But then up at the Hannah's Park, that kiosk, they're always tearing the front of it all. And all it holds is the list of who has rented the park. I mean, there's nothing in there of value, piece of paper. But we're having trouble at all 3 of the parks with those types of things. So. So I guess why I was going with this was, is that something that should come out of the parks funds to pay for these cameras, Park and Rec, or is that something that should come out of police and safety and service? Because it's getting to the point, it's happening every week. And so I wanted to bring out, maybe it's a safety service thing because we know the park and rec funds are pretty tight. Well, I have cameras around the plants, obviously, but you know, it's $7,000 for cameras and I think I can take that to the chief because he's more of a camera expert. They'd have to be, well, no, a couple of parks there's electric. The one would have to be solar up at the trailhead. We don't have any electric there. But
It's recording. Wow, the microphone works.
until they start tearing them down. Oh, okay, well, why don't I take this to the chief, ask him to come up with an idea, an estimate for all three parks and go from there, and then we can look at it in next year's budget.
Yeah.
I'm just Mosley. Craig Bowie.
Jack Liggett with the Village Johnstown. It is.
I'm Bailey Klimchak and I'm the city planner for the city of Johnstown.
Investigate. So let's move on to talks for zoning star. Yes, okay. Yes.
I have a boulder available that would probably work. So for that, I think the plaques that we have got in the past are $500 or less for the bronze plaque that we attach. If, you know, if we decide and get the okay from Monroe Township that we buy the clock, that's on the strip we control, isn't it?
And it says. All decisions made by the-
Oh, well, super, because I know, as you know, we had a little. Well, oh, that's fine then. I just know last time we placed something in there, there was a little bit of it out, but it got worked out. So, okay, well then if we don't have to ask, maybe just notification that we're going to do it. Super. So did we get any wording or, okay, so, which I think is wonderful. I support this. I support this.
He worked for the city for a really long time.
Yeah. No, he was the street superintendent and a local war hero as well. Wang Phelan, yes. I knew Wang. Mhm.
Okay. Do we need to vote on that?
Sure.
Okay, so anything else to do records or?
I'm sure it's gonna say Darwin chops. We got
Yeah. All in favor? Okay.
Okay, so with that, I'm going to say that Marvin's going to find the wording. We'll have Adam do the work, is what I thought. Get
At
the
the same
plaque.
time, let's have him do the plaque for the trailhead. So I have the wording for
You
that.
have the wording for that too. Super.
Okay.
We want, yes, everybody that's put in, we want to have a TLV, yeah, TLV excavation. I have 3 boulders that he can choose which ones will set the best.
A
Sorry
plaque
about
at the trailhead thanking our partners and people who have donated.
I think is what we talked about.
I think that the energy cooperative should probably be higher.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know if we ought to have it by the entrance or maybe closer to the shelter house,
It
because
should probably be by the shelter.
entrance, people are just driving by. Odds are they probably won't walk back out to see the names, where if it's closer to the shelter house where people are going in and resting, you know, you may stop and go, oh, okay. look who did this. Balance.
Nicer and that.
But it's the biggest investment.
Wait, I see.
Maybe.
They
Yeah.
sure are. You liked them better than you thought.
Yeah.
And of course, Energy Co-op had a big donation towards the park.
Yeah, we'll probably do Thomas J. Evans Foundation and the Energy Co-op next to it.
Yeah.
So that they're both. Is this a Word document?
Backpack. 60,000.
Oh.
Was it?
So
It's
we'll
fine.
get the
I'll fix
wording ready. We'll get a hold of Adam, have him come down, look at the 3 boulders, see which ones he can get fixed and situated. Got those two picked up, and I got another one that I've got to pick up. I said was already picked up. By the old car wash, that big granite, that granite one there. That's a good one. So we're gonna get that picked up. And I was thinking about, for me, the way it looked, I thought that'd be a nice one to sit in the park for chops. And then we have a taller one that I thought might sit nice by the shelter house, but Adam has a better eye for that. So I'll let him do the final. Because I think this is going to be maybe a longer, bigger, and that stone sits a little better that way. But again, we'll let people know what they're doing when they make decisions. And I have 3 of them found.
Number 5. Maybe not until the new year. That board.
Mayor, can I jump back just a second? Is the money for these 2 boulders and the plaques, like I said, they're like 500 a piece. I don't know that I got them budgeted anywhere, or am I wrong?
Find some.
You know, like I said, I think there was about 3,000. Yeah, so that'll cover one of them. Okay, and I know we can figure it out. I just, hate spending money without knowing where I'm supposed to get it from. Okay, all right.
Yep. So the dog park, we had our grand opening last week. It was very successful. I was very happy with it. We did a ribbon cutting and we had a lot of dogs come and play in the park. We handed out some dog treats. We had a representative from Licking Parks District and then some members of staff with their dogs. So it went very well. We're very happy with that. We have heard some feedback. The gates don't close all the way. So Tony Baldwin's going to come out next week and put another spring on the gates to kind of have them close better.
Also, we got a complaint about a gap.
Yep, I told him to call me when he comes out and I will come out and show him where it is. He said he thinks he knows what I'm talking about and he doesn't think it'll be an issue to take care of it. These are our furry friends that joined us. Yes, we did.
Which we will hold until the springs and the other things complete.
Yep.
Aren't those cool?
There's 2 of them that the service department found that weren't being used. And so they painted them up and put them in for us.
Yeah, in our bone pile, we had a couple of hydrants that were beyond repair or too old. We didn't want to put their flow characteristics weren't good. So I had the guys paint it up and we just dug a couple of holes, cut them off and set them. I would hope so. They can't get to them,
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there are fire hydrants all down Douglas off that 12-inch main. I could let them know, but if they tried to get through the dog park to hook up to that, I guess they are firemen. We have to, yeah. They see those red hydrants, they get excited. Yes, yes.
But on the inside, low area wet. And he said, one thing that affects, whether, you know, either put wood chips down or something, because people, their dogs are in there, the last thing they do is go out and eat, have muddy feet, and they don't want to, dogs jumping into their car. with muddy
Oh.
feet.
And I can explain that situation. Obviously, we had construction there. The grass has been tore up,
Yeah.
dug out, so we could put the concrete pad down. And he just spread that dirt out there instead of hauling it away. So in all honesty, we could get wood chips or something there temporarily, but if I do that, that'll kill the grass back from next year. I think that'll all be a grassed in area next spring. The grass, yeah.
That, you know, that's that whole area on that side is.
Comes down that hill.
Yeah, and that was his comment to me last night.
It should be fixed.
Of course, next spring, the parking lot goes in down there in the front
Right.
area. Yeah.
And that's what
Yeah. Yeah. And there's new drainage in that. So just to give you a quick update that you can take back, which I thought we discussed at the opening of the gates, but in our CIP for the parks, we have an amount in there to actually, we're going to put a one-way drive in there. It's all the topsoil is going to be removed. The base is going to be put in. The plan is for year one to be a gravel parking lot there. Year two, go to asphalt in there. So early next spring, assuming the council gets the budget approved the way it sits now, which should be at our next meeting, going to line the contractor up now to take care of that next spring. We want to get it done early in the year so it can be used with ease also.
Dogs coming out the door.
Yeah. But we're going to have new drainage along with the stone base and parking. Yes, because it's caught between the road and the dog park right there. And that's why we're adding some drainage in this. That's why the price went from what was it, 20 something to 36, because we're going to add another basin and put drainage in there to carry that water away. And open that ditch up on the other side of the road that the person blocked off. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and we had some that Yeah, there is no latch. It's designed for the spring to hold it closed so people don't have to fight with the latch, but they're not strong enough. That's why we're adding. Another reason we have to get that parking lot in, because I have had complaints of people pulling off in the grass that is not part of the dog park. So I'm gonna have to put some no parking signs up there. They're pulling off into people's backyards.
The other update I have for the trailhead is that the parking lot has been paved. And it looks wonderful.
No, it has not. That will happen. Mhm. Yeah, one way in, one way out. So we're gonna put the striping in, and then right down through the middle, we're gonna go ahead and put arrows just one way around, because I don't want them backing out and going, we want them to loop, is what we want. And there is one. I don't know if you've been there, but we added it to go around. I may lose that very end. I've been looking at it. It's tight. I drove the truck through with a car there, but it is tight. But we've gained so much parking. I may lose that end parking lot just so there's room.
That's fine.
That end parking space, not lot. Because I could get through there with the truck, but I was watching. It, you know, it was close. We could have made the roundabout swing out a little farther, but I think I'm just gonna stripe off that end one
I think
because we've gained so many spots. You know, it's a good deal.
You're gonna have to wait.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's just gonna be too cold when you stay down. But you know what? I've been up there and we had a nice weekend day last weekend. The folks are doing a great job. I mean, where the original parking, they're coming up and going nose to nose. I mean, they're lining up. They're not all over the place. So been pretty happy with the way that group has been handling that.
And it has water, sewer, gas. What's really well,
That's a possibility. I think, you look inside, yeah, you look inside, there's areas where it's mowed.
Oh, yeah.
It's settled. Create a huge crack.
Yeah.
You can tell.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah.
It looks like maybe it was more substantial than the rest, and then settled down. But yeah, so we didn't crawl underneath that level below. We'd have to look at that, and I know we tried moving that door. And I left it on whatever. You could.
What would its function be left at that spot? Well, parking and stuff like that is.
A little article that said the village, at that time, the village, 60 feet. That street to come. We had an easement. I got the article, because I just thought that was interesting.
The idea.
I'd have to look at that. But, have you
I
ever
just
heard
had
of
the
that,
road
Jack?
survey. Well, no, I hadn't heard of that, but I paid $5,000 to have that road surveyed to get the right of way width. If there was another easement that should have showed up in there. No, okay.
Need to know the answer to that article. Yeah, that's why I'm asking.
The deed?
Yeah, it's not gonna be online. Probably not. That article. Yeah, so.
Okay.
So we have. We, the way the trail, they would go behind the mill. And it wind up.
Well, then if you wanted to run it clear to 62, of course, the old railroad bed is still there. Yeah, 'cause I think we run the water main up that railroad
Yeah.
bed to get to 62 from the water company. Yeah, I think we ran it within the railroad bed. 84 lumber. Well, I'm sure before we put it in there, we would have gotten it. Not 84, the cellar. Yeah, cellar. Mhm. Oh, I remember that. Because that was a battle when who paved it, who was taking care of it, then who was going to plow the snow, and I remember all
Oh. Because you couldn't get to the road. That was the problem. That was the issue. So they said. They had to roll it back.
that. Oh,
So back to your question. For some extent, what are we gonna do? How much, you have an estimate of how much might be to just maintain it and bring it back to.
No, I had done some research. I got the Westerville one here that I printed off. But there's another one, I can't remember which, it might have been the Mount Vernon one. Where they paid $700,000 to renovate that one. And it just depends on what we're gonna do with it. I think there's.
And I've seen some that are not being used on the outside, just to make them look best.
Well, and I don't think there's a lot of structural stuff that you need. I'm wrong, but I don't think a lot of structural thing I need is just more TLC stuff.
Yeah.
Painting, maybe, sanding down the floors and staining or different things, but I think from the senior center, that's a good idea.
Well, and we don't have a senior.
And it's-
And I, for me, I think that.
That's the thing, it's because it's removed from the downtown, it's not right here downtown, you don't wanna have it something, you don't wanna try to create an ice cream shop or something like that, because nobody's gonna go there, but it's a destination thing.
Right.
Like you said, for a senior center, or have activities like that, that may be the best use for it.
but for a senior center, wouldn't you need a parking area right there close
have
to it
to-
versus down at the trailhead and then expecting them to walk
We have to work with
that
Kevin,
distance?
I think. Is Kevin looking at just delaying it?
He's never really. He said, I don't want it. It means
But he did say, I don't care if you move it.
Right.
So I think we need to get back. Would maybe get. Possibly.
You
I
would
don't
need
think they
10 to
necessarily want to
15.
move the trailhead. I don't think they want to move the trailhead. I think they just want to extend the trail.
That's what I want, but I'm saying. You need that. They just extend it because you can purchase the lot that would help us into
Yeah. It'd be a concept. Concept.
But part of usefulness, we would need 10 to 15 parking spots.
Yeah.
We would.
I was gonna say. the food that sometimes there's and then so a lot of community. He said, this is what my family and it's built. And he said, I find I had to the one where we had three people. Also, yeah. Anyhow, the other guy told me. And he said he wants to take ownership, but he is okay with it being repurposed. But his plan right now is to cover it with dirt, and so that other than needing the legal easement. Interesting enough, yes. And it wants to, and he wants, what it would take to use it when camper boats or these, and the easement issue, and it would have to be paid, and he wasn't. He seemed to be. We have a lot of things going on there, and it's a matter of story. It's doable. I think it's doable.
I appreciate that you told me that went down there. At one time, I think somebody approached the owner, was having
Oh, yeah.
stuff there. And Mr. Olson was. And he wanted $350,000.
Yeah.
So I think it's a long way, you know.
Well, I think from my perspective, the call. Take a part of on the inside, the roof and everything. Where it's made, and
So you're saying maybe.
everything is possible.
Oh, I know it is.
Oh, yeah.
It's called Cornell School.
Yeah.
Brick building.
Yeah.
I have to, I was coming in, look like faucet. I would be. Never understand, I just.
Yeah.
Well.
You know, the cost associated with it, and what's the purpose? If we can get things to work out
Everything-
there with parking,
Yeah.
everything else.
I mean, if he insists, you can have the building.
But I want it off the lot.
That's one thing.
And he hasn't said that.
But from the, you know, from the historic site preservation. Being on the site, you can get, you know.
It might be more.
historic place, you know, but if you move it, then
Yeah.
that takes away.
Yeah,
there's fun.
Yeah, Bailey and I's thought was we were thinking about the, trailhead being suspended up there and additional parking. We thought if we could get it down where the trailhead is, where the parking is at, where that large mound of dirt is, maybe set something up right there, because we were viewing that as the start of the trailhead. Now, if we're actually going to get it moved up through there.
If
and we
he
could
won't
have
give the city the property, then we can't do anything.
Yeah.
We need the property.
Funding. Once it is, extension or.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was on the historic site. 4 terms. I'm familiar.
Yeah.
You know, what's available. You know, I mean, you're competing.
So,
But I'm just saying, that is a possible funding source, if the building was put on.
I guess the decision comes back to if Kevin would donate for those and allow for parking spaces. And we would be responsible for people like that, paving those parking spaces. And that would limit, that would.
We would either have to own it or have a lifetime lease. 'Cause
Right.
you don't want to fix that building. You don't want to put in parking and then him sell the property.
Yep.
And the new property owner go, well, no, I really don't want that there. So him saying, I don't care if you move or not, do what you want to do with it. That's a great thought.
Yeah, just. leaving the building, it's not-
But long term, we'd have to have the ground under and access. Because we put a couple $100,000 in fixing the building up and putting a 15 space parking, and then someday that building will transfer to somebody else. All buildings do. Yeah,
Yep.
we would have to own that. We wouldn't want to make that investment, then it be sold. So.
down the road, and I was supposed to, and, at least.
So would this be the?
I mean, I look at people that purchase all the buildings. Once they've done it. They're not really good on it, and they- you can't see that from on top.
But if you could get the trail up to it, it can become a meeting room, a museum. You know, you could put some really cool stuff in there. And as Craig said, you know, some TLC, get it fixed up, so people could walk in and out. However, the key to making it worthwhile would be getting the trailhead on up to it. So again, it's a destination.
He was the one who we originally talked to help with our school. And at the time, he said, I have a little village, we have other buildings there.
Yeah.
I said, no, I think if we can just, oh, but he was always into cleaning old buildings, and I think, I've said that to Sarah. But we couldn't do, but I could see if we said that to her, if there's a possibility of a building. But we need your help, because
And to take that package to her, just as he said, you know, well, what's this going to cost? If you were prepared and said, well, we've investigated this and this is the funds and we need you to get the trailhead on up to this area and we have a place for additional parking.
I grew up,
A lot of groundwork.
they moved old buildings and created like a little, yeah, they did. They have this little train. Olmsted Falls, Ohio, and then here's the little like train station. Olmsted Falls, Ohio, and then like the old hardware store. So it could be done.
Well, that looks pretty cool. I've never been there.
They have like the old jail. There's the hardware store. Yeah.
We do.
It's
We
cool.
do have it.
What's like this? I might ask him.
And then also somebody to possibly contact the others. want to make. So,
I'm okay.
all right. And
Well, to me, I think it's important to sell this. Decide exactly.
Sure.
Because some things will play better. Yeah. Make it presentation.
Well, we do know that comes up. in chip on- Center. I've heard that. So they talk about using more stuff. But there's no funding.
okay, anything else to tell me? Then we're gonna go to Mr. Newberry Craig Boning. Congratulations.
Thank you. Sorry. That's all right. Yeah, one thing mentioned before is that we do, because we haven't done it in the last 2 years. The situation, we do have a little fun thing that Keith mentioned. Potentially some different things. Like the holiday stuff. You can plug in,
Yeah. I've got the papers here. I can look at the poles that have the light posts that have the fall. Then they're just in the downtown. Those would be the only ones we're looking at putting some type of decoration.
Do the receptacles work?
That's, yeah. Yeah. I mean, you guys can-
They are not that old. They are not that old. Well, I'm sure we could. Okay, that's helpful. Next week, get out and see what's wrong with the electric. Winter Wonderland is coming.
We've got I did go for told me to go. Yeah.
The pole caught
We're not
fire.
using.
We're not using. We're not using.
Yeah, the
No.
pole
Line,
caught.
LED line.
You could, you could leave snowflakes up later than December though.
To see how tall the banners were. The reason, yeah, was 4.5. Circle, and this probably we're looking at. The banners are pretty big. These poles are smaller than other ones on the top. These are going to like, I think whatever decoration we put on there, everything that we range, because that's something here to be on the other side. We know who manufactured or the manufacturer of those. And what they have something.
Not off the top of my head, do you have any records of that?
I look.
Okay. Yeah, I think it was part of street.
Yeah, it was.
Most. Yeah. So they have special, here's some of the. I'm looking at the rates that were there in the past. They had shingles in, we want to stay away from them. The reason themselves is great. Candles. I haven't beaten that for a year. The reason easy. The lights go back, the decorations go back, you pull them up, and you're ready. So the reeds are actually maybe even more practical than the fixtures themselves. So the thought was for this sponsorship, what people for these reeds for the season. You would run it across the board, downtown Johnson, in 2022, Christmas 2012. Sponsorship would be years somewhere. Listen to it. Throwing these, you show, might show, and those donations in and use that money also know that they're going to need it. And that we would have to generate income for that. The other thing we talked about is that downtown Johnstown would handle the storage of the reeds and help with disbursement. So when you guys are ready to make the change, we would bring the reeds out to you, you would have them put it up. Put a fixture that's very quick, 2 pins being made. When they're ready to come down, we would be there. I believe. Take them to our
Okay.
So that was the other conversation. That takes some of the liability off of you guys with any of that kind of stuff. All we're asking is that you would help us install it. You know what I mean? Or Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Whatever it is. No
And then
problem.
if we need to fix it up, we need to add new lights, we need to, you know, like on the reeds, the boat. I mean, nothing else. But the nice thing about the reeds is that they would be easier to spruce back up because the greenery itself starts to go on. Just to run new lights on them, new pine cones, whatever, new ribbon, you're good to go. But the other ones like the snowflake, I'm not sure if they go bad. So, but yeah, if the group hasn't decided or anything, we're just looking, first of all, asking Jack and your group, would you check the receptacle for us?
I think that power comes out of the building right there on the square. I think, if I remember correctly, yeah, we had to get in there and throw a breaker to energize that. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, it was.
From both. When we. The intent was that they would
Try-
be conducive for-
Yeah, since we started talking, I'm trying to think where that, but does the power still come from that building? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Then so.
Well, I know that's what caught on fire. It was a nightmare. It was a nightmare and we kept trying to put them up.
There was a.
Wire. I just don't remember where those were fed from, but again,
They
Yeah.
really want to do it. I met him where they were putting them up. Probably one of the few times that a great guy, very excited about it. And I just don't want that part of it. I mean, he's gone, his wife's moved away. But to me, this is so. I'm gonna rebirth it. This is the not art. Downtown Johnstown. Sounds like take the lead. But we're gonna try to get what he wanted for Johnstown.
That's great.
That's great. Did you have anything else?
No.
Oh, thanks for bringing that to us. Interesting.
While we're on that. I don't think they're starting the lights on. But oh, great.
I was told it was gonna be
Ghost
choice that he was doing that December 3rd, is that the light out?
It was good.
There's the light.
Oh, did he have?
Oh, my Cooper.
Something like that. We gotta get that light pole. All, you know, turn it, just turn it off. Something.
Yeah, I passed that on to Mike Guthridge and let me, that may have died. Yeah,
No,
but
it's not that big.
we were trying to get a different head that would shine down and towards the parking.
And they changed all the wall.
The day. This one is done. Thing. This is the ideal for Lenore Township. This is their, you know.
Yeah, the reason we just didn't want to pull the bulb is because that's what also lights the parking lot. That's there in the parking lot. It's gonna be dark there without it.
Right.
So I asked Mike Guthrie to try to find a LED light that would shine straight down and out to the parking lot and not back into the park. I'll get with him when I get out of this meeting to see possibly what he came up with. It's very nice. What about it? Yes,
That does
the
look very
light.
nice.
The best thing to do is if I can get a head that would
Really
shine
pretty.
straight down in the parking lot, because it's right there in the center, you know, that it lights up a lot.
I was like.
I don't have a clue. What? Yeah, I think they put the wreath on the town hall. It's township building. Yeah,
Yes, I do.
The
too.
one light on
Yeah.
Yeah.
it. Love them.
That's nice.
I didn't get it.
No.
Yeah.
they'll
Me
put
too.
it so much.
That is literally a picture.
It is. It's beautiful. It is.
No,
Yeah.
And those are the right like. Are made.
Oh,
Yeah.
Light pollution. Federally approved, like, and like. And, but it turned out. So.
yeah.
And John said the ball.
we always find some money.
Yeah.
Same place we get the boulder money.
Or we put it on a few pennies a day.
Okay, yeah, we do have a few pennies a day.
But we're gonna move. We can cut this. Take off
Yeah. But we're pleased. Need more money and we'll have more money for a community and program. So if you need something from us, as far as resolution banking the park. Something else that it's asked for.
Oh, what? You have to understand that
Oh,
the two councilmen from, they're both lawyers and they were just grandstanding. Poor community. Yeah, but the thing is, they act as if nobody in Pascagoula takes advantage of the parks because, and they do, because I mean, it's interesting that the ferry trail, we get, the kids send letters and guess how many people are from the Pascagoula. So, I mean, we've got plenty of proof that well,
They're benefiting. They're enjoying it.
yeah. So, but that's nice of you to do that, but I don't think we're sort of ignoring it at this point. Rather than going, back and forth, it's ridiculous. As far as we're pleased that the dog park got dedicated and everything, and we're pleased that we participated as part of that. And I wanted to let you know about Concord crossing on the parking, that the deed transfer papers have all been completed now, and they're getting ready to record it. And then once they're recorded, then Richard said he would be contacting you to get the curb cut permit. And we've already lined up the contractor to build the parking lot, and so we're hoping to have it done by the first of the year, so. Well, we're gonna use, we're gonna use gravel first and let it settle and then come in and put blacktop. Yeah, well, the big thing was we were waiting on the corn to get off because part of the property that was being transferred had corn up it. Part of it was corn, so now that the corn's off, that we can go to work and get things done. But I wanted to report on that. So it looks like if everything goes like planned, that by the late December it should be ready to go. So Jim, Richard will be contacting.
Yeah.
Who's your contractor?
I think, well,
Law's doing it? Okay. All right.
but anyway.
Okay, for the trail itself, yeah, okay. They're just finishing up some projects here in town as well.
Nature place. From Park. And it's essentially five stages. Because it's weather expensive. I mean, but hey, playgrounds are always expensive, but this is very expensive. But anyway, it's 5 phases, and it's based on an alligator mound theme. And so, I don't know, I guess you have to be up in an airplane to look down on it. It's kind of, so the first phase was the head. And then the spine is a trail that runs the whole length of the hill by Shelter House Spine. And then the feet are going to be, one of them's going to be a row of cut with wide willow wood. The kids can go back out. And right now, yesterday, a little boy that came with his parents ribbon cutting, he was the only kid there, but boy, he had a blast. He was trying everything out that we had set up. So I think it's going to
Infirmary
be a
building.
destination type playground or once it's completed. And we have received funding for phase 2, and we had originally thought we would pay for phase 2, so we may be able to do phase 2 and 3 this next year. So that'll be moving ahead very quickly. We were thinking it's going to take 5 years, but So anyway, that's the report. I have. It's pretty neat, Jim.
Pete, you have anything?
Yeah, we have. What we're working on right now, we've put in an application like to take for our legal service. So the application's there for 501 and everything, including my law. We submitted some information, our status and kind of where we fall in line, where we should fall in line with the higher revised code. We're gonna do that. But the biggest thing that we worked on at the meeting was our mission and vision. They did want me to share this. One of the biggest concerns I have, or I have, is to make sure that even though our tax base is school district, that we don't sound like we're part of the school district. You know what I mean? Yeah, this is what we have proposed. Don't use this. But GJRD will provide responsible development, management, coordination, and equitable access to recreational facilities, programs, and activities for residents of Johnstown Monroe School District. So my question on this one, would we be better served for residents of Johnstown Monroe School Or does it sound like does it sound like that are implied? Or do you like, dislike that? Well, we're afraid that then it's gonna sound like it's just the city. Was that it's everybody's area versus.
Is it Johnstown and Monroe Township? Is it Johnstown and Monroe Township, or are there more townships?
Following in the boundaries, you know. We did take conflict. That was conversation, but we want people to, we hope that the word greater would apply outside of Johnstown. So again. School district. Yeah. GJRMD will provide responsible coordination and equitable access to recreational facilities, programs, and activities for residents of the Johnstown Monroe local school district to strengthen community health, wellness, and care.
See, I like the greater Johnstown area.
Yeah, I say,
And now that's just my opinion, and drop the school district, because I think that is limiting, people of greater Johnstown area. It's under the umbrella of the greater Johnstown area. Yeah. But they are not controlling it, because it does sound like when you mentioned the Johnstown School District, they're in charge. Yeah, it's not that they won't be using it, but they're not in charge of it. And I think that's important.
Well, maybe, mention the school district.
Yeah. I'm in good chat. I think this.
And they'll fall under the greater Johnstown area. Yeah, because once you mention the Johnstown School District, Zoom. Yeah, but I think when you say the greater Johnstown area, that includes Northridge area, because Johnstown is Northridge's town. It is, at least I've always considered it. Right? Oh yeah, we're not going to have a fence. We're not going to have a fence up and go, let me see your card. Yeah. Yeah, I think we want it to be inclusive, but we don't. I just think we want to avoid saying that Johnstown runs it. And when you put Johnstown Monroe School District, I think it's. Yeah.
And they do have their. And they do have.
No, our next is going to be December 8th.
Yeah. We understand that taking a little time off, don't we, Chip?
So no, that was that.
So is there any other?
The time.
We're all-
And I guess I want to jump on the back of that. Carol has really brought this park committee and the parks of Johnstown to another level. She took somebody that didn't care about them too much, that was busy with roads, and has really got me invested in it. Thank you.
And when we started, I only the million back them.
Enough.
I think I'm there. And look at all. I mean, it really is. I would say the parks committee should get more done, at least what next thing, and go look at it again. And it's just the nature of how you look at it.
Yes.
We do have a- Okay, thank you. I'll second.
Well, Carol, it's just the fact. I came to the meetings and went, I got so much to do.
Yeah.
And now I'm invested.